Hi. So now we're going to go to the true confessions part of the tonight's program. Most people know me as a mild-mannered computer science professor at Daytona State, but I'm also an adventure addict. And as an adventure addict, well, the first thing, since I'm a professor and an adventure addict, it's really going to be understanding what is that addiction. So you might know the common definitions of adventure, but for me, the definition of adventure, and most adventures, is if you do something and you come out alive, that's called a good adventure. And if you do it and you die, that's a bad adventure. Now, I started simply. My addiction started with just racing. I was a cross-country runner in high school, which is a pretty mild sport. And I moved on to doing cross-country and track in college. And I kind of progressed up after college. I would go out and do the 5K and the 10K, and it was kind of fun because you worked on your pace, and you got these little cards in the mail that told you what you had done. It wasn't all electronic at that point because this was a long time ago. But something happened. I got a mountain bike. And I don't know how many people are mountain bikers, but I learned about shredding and dropping in and all these things that you didn't do as a runner, because in a mountain bike, it's really easy to break bones, and I got plenty of them to prove that it is easy. And then I discovered this sport called adventure racing. It was a brand new sport in 1998. And the problem with addictions is if you're around like-minded people, it doesn't do a very good job to help cure your addiction. In fact, it just feeds it. And that's what happened. But it also added all these other sports besides running and mountain biking. I had now climbing and ropes and learning how to navigate. So all of a sudden the world was endless. All these things I had to learn to just be good at my sport. The other thing it added was stuff. If you like stuff, this is definitely the sport for you because you can spend your entire paycheck on stuff. You've got to have everything. And for adventurers, it's not about just having stuff. You have to have 2 or 3 of the stuff. And you have to compare the stuff with other people. And you have to get the right stuff. And then you have to go out and trade it in for other stuff. If you love stuff, I have a whole shed full of stuff. It's just one of those things that's awesome about the sport. And then they add in travel. You get to go places. Places are awesome. And the places you have adventures, they're just great places to go. So I'm like traveling to Alaska and to Wyoming and to Montana. By the way, I'm working with really cool people on my team, and I get to carry lots of stuff. So you throw all that together, and you can see how getting addicted is really not hard to do. So I'm like totally fed my addiction here. And what happens after that? Well, here's some side effects. Fitness. Somebody calls me today and says, let's go run 100 miles this weekend. I'm going to do it because the bottom line is, if you're doing this, you can't write checks your body can't cash. And I've learned that the hard way a few times. Teamwork, I have learned to work with a team. Adventure racing is a team sport. And doing really hard things with a group of people. And doing it in a team scenario when you're dead tired and haven't slept in 3 days, that's what it is. I dragged my family into this. This is the worst thing that you should do in any addiction is dragging your family. But my teams became an extended family, and my children became involved. They're a little bit older than what you see in that picture now, but they loved the adventure too. So now all of a sudden I'm the cool dad. And the cool dad gets to go to really cool races. My last big race was Expedition Alaska. It was a 10-day race. I got to do the Seaward Mountain Marathon for those people who know what that is at the end of the race, and that's almost impossible to get into, but look it up. It's awesome. So how do you know you might have this addiction? Well, if you look at a picture like this and say, oh, I need to know where that trail goes, because that's what happens to me. I'm like, it goes to a mountain. We got to go up it. So these are things that you just want to do. And a common thing about adventures is there's always the question, is it safe? Well, the adventure answer is, well, let's find out. Let's just do it. If we die, it wasn't safe. If you make it through, it's fine. I jump into Cat 5 whitewater all the time. I haven't drowned yet. So, but the bottom line is the trail. You see the trail, it goes off, you don't know where it goes, but you want to go on that trail. And then what happens is the trail ends. It goes onto a glacier. And you go, God, should I stop? Well, no, the trail ended. Let's just keep going. What's the worst that could happen? We could get swept downstream in a glacier. But you know what? What happens is after you've done this long enough, you get confidence in yourself, and it starts to define you. It is what you are. So if you look inside yourself and you say, is that me? Well, I know it's me, but look at your inner adventurer, and that's what I'm asking everybody here to do. Thanks.